This is Kendall. Welcome back to Millionaire Babe. Our mission is to empower, motivate, and educate an ordinary person to be a millionaire. So, if it's the first time you're watching, please stay tuned. Last week we were talking about the traditional IRA. So, today we are going to talk a bit about Roth IRA, and we're also going to show you different ways of how to invest your money in a Roth IRA. I will be looking specifically at Fidelity today, and I'll be talking about different mutual funds that one could put their money in. Now, the Roth IRA is in some ways similar to a traditional IRA, except that the Roth IRA, you have already paid taxes for it. So it's post-tax, meaning that if you put $100,000 today and that $100,000 reaches $1 million on retirement, that's your $1 million. The US government cannot tax it. One of the advantages of a Roth IRA too is that if you say, for example, want to put to buy a house, you can take up to $10,000 of the money that you put in, not the interest, and you can use that as a down payment for your first house. If you ever get to a point where you have a medical emergency, you can also use your Roth IRA to pay for your health insurance premiums. You can also use your Roth IRA to pay for school. Let's say you want to go back to school, get a graduate degree, you can use your Roth IRA to do that. So now you see that good reasons why one should have a Roth IRA. Actually, they say that the Roth IRA is the best kept secret when it comes to retirement. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you different mutual funds. And when I say mutual funds, I mean that you don't buy a specific stock, let me say Apple or Google, but you're buying a bunch of, you're buying like an umbrella with various stocks in it. So that means you're diversifying your risk and you get very good returns. So stay tuned, stick with me and see what we have today. Thank you.
Okay, so welcome back. So I believe you can see my screen. I'm on fidelity.com and I'm looking at retirement. And we're going to talk about saving for retirement. So once you come to this site, just go ahead and create an account with Fidelity so that you can be able to use all these features that I'm telling you. So one of the mutual funds that I will be talking about, I'm going to type it here, FS, uppercase, FSRPX. It's called Fidelity Select Retail Portfolio. So you can still look for it on the Fidelity website. Now, if you look at this FSRPX, we're going to talk about some of the things that you need to look for. So when you come to this part here, you can look at all the mutual funds that Fidelity has. You just click on the one that says show more. and you scroll all the way down. But today I'll be looking at FSRPX and FXPH. Let's start with FSRPX. So according to the Morningstar ratings, this is quite important before you think about buying anything. Look at the Morningstar ratings and see what they have to say. So out of the last 3 years, they have about 5-star rating, which is probably good. And they're number 7 so far on the Lipper ranking. So when you look at this fund, it actually shows you that in the last 3 years, they have made about 14% and about 16% in the last 10 years. And when you look at the performance and risk, and then the fees, it will give you an idea of all that it entails. Now, the other one I wanted to talk about was FSPH, Fidelity Select Healthcare Portfolio. Now, the good thing about Fidelity is that they are one of the first companies to actually give you no charges whatsoever to invest in their funds. So if you can find companies that will let you put money with zero fees, that's actually a very good bet for you. Now, this Fidelity Select Healthcare Portfolio, you can see when I zoom in here that for this year, they've actually made 25%, 25% profit. So that's really good. And in the last 10 years, they usually average about 17%. So the lowest amount is actually 9% in the last 9 years. When you look at the expense ratio is about 0.7. And let's look again at the ratings. So one of the good things about this fund is that this a bit, if you compare how they're averaging based and compare it with the S&P 500, you can see that they're doing way much better than the S&P 500. In the last 5 years, they're about the same with S&P, but look here at the 10-year mark and look at the lifetime mark. So this graph here shows an illustration. If you put $10,000 in this FSPX 10 years ago, right now, it's going to be worth about 50,000. If you had put it in the S&P 500, let me try to zoom in for you so you can see. If you had put that money in the S&P 500, you would only have about 29,000. So it's almost 1.5 times what the S&P 500 gives you. So that's a really, really good rank amount. So the last one I want to talk about is the FSM, sorry, it's FSMEX. Now FSMEX, you can see here that for the year, they have averaged 15% and 16% in 3 years and 10% for the last 10 years. Now, when you go down here, it shows you their holdings And if you look at this graph, it actually shows that if you put $10,000 10 years ago in FSMX, it would have grown to 45,000. If you compare with the S&P 500, that's about $15,000 more just for this. So think about that. You can definitely use 15,000. Now, some of the things that you have to look for when you're going to put your money in a Roth IRA, you have to look at the fees. And if you look at these fees, the expense ratio is 0.71, but they don't charge anything to invest, zero fees to invest. Additional fees, zero. So this is actually a very good thing, very good place to put your money for your Roth IRA. So if you have any questions, please email me at millionairebabe.com and tell me what you think about this Fidelity fund. I'm not paid by Fidelity to do this, but if I see something good, I will definitely let you know. Thank you, and thank you for watching Millionaire Babe, and I'll see you later. Bye.